Ford Field in shock, because the headline ripping through Detroit is too loud to ignore. Josh Sweat, the Eagles' edge terror, the man who has made quarterbacks lose sleep across the NFC, is now wearing Honolulu blue. That's the story racing through the city, the rumor that has turned into belief, the move that could tilt the entire NFC North on its head. And if you think this is just another off-season whisper, think again. This feels like the moment the Lions decide to go from hungry to unstoppable. Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, the only place where passion and football collide like a Hutchinson bull rush. Do me a quick favor. Smash that like button right now, subscribe if your blood runs blue and silver, and drop your thoughts in the comments because this one isn't just a story. It's a thunderclap. Josh Sweat in Detroit. Just say it out, loud. It sounds real, it feels real, and tonight it's shaking the NFL.Lions Nation. Let's be honest with ourselves. We've been begging for balance on that defensive line. Aiden Hutchinson has carried the weight of a franchise on his back, disrupting plays, chasing quarterbacks, being the lone wolf howling into the pocket, but we all knew one wolf wasn't enough. We saw it in the NFC Championship run. We saw it in those tight losses. Hutch needed a partner. Enter Josh Sweat. He's not a compliment. He's a force of nature. Together. That's not a defensive line. That's a nightmare factory. Think about what Sweat brings. 6'5", 265 pounds, built like he was carved from steel beams, with the quick twitch burst of a sprinter. He's not just strong, he's explosive. In Philadelphia, he didn't just rack up sacks, he dismantled entire offensive game plans. 40-plus career sacks, Pro Bowl recognition, and countless pressures that don't show up on the stat sheet but win football games. Quarterbacks can handle one dominant edge rusher if they scheme right. But two? That's when chaos reigns. Now picture it, Ford Field on a Monday night, division rival across the line. The quarterback drops back. Hutchinson comes crashing from the right, forcing him to step up. But stepping up doesn't save him anymore, because on the left, here comes Sweat, bending the edge like a whip, collapsing the pocket. Sack. Crowd eruption. That's not just a play, that's a statement. That's what Sweat delivers. Fear. Inevitability. The kind of defensive swagger Detroit hasn't had since the days when Silver Rush meant something, and don't underestimate his pedigree. Sweat comes from an Eagles culture built on the trenches. He's been in playoff wars, he's lined up under the brightest lights. He knows what it means to hit when it matters most. That kind of experience is priceless for a Lions team on the cusp. Dan Campbell has built the culture. Brad Holmes has stacked the roster. But experience in January. That's what Sweat injects into this team instantly. Financially, sure, this isn't a cheap dream. We're talking about nearly $20 million per season. But when you're this close to breaking through, when you've built the offense, when you've drafted the franchise quarterback in Caleb Williams and invested in the offensive line, there's no excuse not to invest in the final missing piece. Championships aren't won by saving pennies. They're won by choking out enemy quarterbacks when it matters most. The fit is seamless. Hutchinson is a relentless motor, an edge who wins with effort and technique. Sweat is length, leverage, and power. One forces quarterbacks into mistakes, the other punishes them. Together, they turn third down into a funeral march for opposing offenses. And it doesn't just help the line, it helps everyone. Linebackers flow freer. The secondary gambles more. Turnovers spike. The offense gets more possessions. Football is a complementary sport, and Sweat completes the equation. The timing couldn't be better. The NFC is wide open. San Francisco is loaded, sure. Philly is always tough. But Green Bay, Minnesota, even Dallas, none of them want to see a Detroit defense with Hutchinson and Sweat feeding off each other. That's not just two Pro Bowlers, that's two hunters who make every offensive line coach in the league sweat on Saturday nights. And don't forget the cultural shift. Detroit isn't just a city that loves football. It's a city that bleeds grit, toughness, blue-collar fight. Sweat embodies that. He's not Hollywood Flash. He's not a diva edge. He's a grinder, a worker, a warrior. Pair him with Campbell's. Bite a kneecap mentality, and you've got the perfect storm of attitude and production. But here's the reality check. As much as it feels real, as much as it sounds inevitable, Josh Sweat isn't a lion. Not yet. No press conference. No contract. No photo in Honolulu blue. What we're talking about right now is speculation. Speculation rooted in logic, in analysis, in the glaring need this team has and the perfect puzzle piece Sweat appears to be. This isn't fantasy. It's blueprint. But until pen hits paper, it's still a dream. And maybe that's why it's so intoxicating. Because it doesn't feel like wild fiction. It feels right. It feels logical. It feels like destiny waiting to be signed. And Lions Nation knows better than anyone. This team has ignored the trenches before. We've seen quarterbacks pummeled, leads slip away, seasons collapse because pressure wasn't there. With Caleb Williams under center, that cannot happen. Again. Protecting him on offense and punishing opponents on defense is non-negotiable. I'll be honest with you, Lions Nation, if it were up to me, I'd take the gamble without blinking. We've spent too many years watching other teams build their walls of steel while we kept hoping our grit alone would be enough. I've seen too many Sundays where one more defender, one more closer, could have changed everything. Josh Sweat isn't a luxury add-on. He's not some fancy name to sell jerseys. He's the exact kind of player that tells the league we're done being second best. Yes, it's expensive, and yes, it's a risk. But let me ask you, what's more costly, overspending on greatness or wasting the prime years of a young quarterback and a defense that's one piece away? Detroit has lived with safe moves for decades, and safe has never brought us the Lombardi. The truth is, the window is open now, and windows in the NFL don't stay open for long. If you want to win, you don't wait, you strike. Sweat is that strike. He's not just pressure on the quarterback, he's pressure on the rest of the league. And, if I'm being real with you, I'd rather fall swinging for a championship than sit back and watch another season fade because we hesitated. So, I'll put it to you, Lions Nation. Is Josh Sweat the missing piece? The edge who turns this defense from solid to terrifying? Is he the partner Hutchinson has been waiting for? The catalyst that pushes Detroit from contender to champion? Or is this just another off-season mirage, another story we cling to because it feels so right, because it gives us belief, because it keeps hope alive in a city starving for a Lombardi? Drop your answers in the comments. Because your voice isn't background noise, it's pressure, it's leverage, it's the roar that pushes this front office to act. And trust me, in Detroit, when the fans roar, when belief takes over, that's when dreams stop being speculation and start becoming banners.